I can never do anything right with you.
High standards.
No one cares about your standards. Oh my god. There we go. Now I'm going to show you how much of a douche you are.
I like this game.
Yeah, and you're wrong for liking it.
The other thing is this game, if I'm not mistaken, was one of like the first. It might have. I think it was the first console Tetris game to feature 4-player.
It does feature 4-player, but that does not make it a good Tetris game. Oh my god, this controller's a piece of shit!
What I like about this Tetris is just dropping the pieces and how they, evaporate when you break a line. I just think it's like a smooth. I like the sound. Yeah, I'm gonna go with evaporate.
Yeah, not so much. Them falling away like that has kind of been a thing for quite some time.
Well, of course, but it's like I just think it feels right.
Feels right.
I like the sound effects. Like I played like there's been some bad Tetris games where just moving left and right and just moving the pieces around. Just
what is a bad Tetris game in your opinion?
There was it was on PS1. I think it was just called Tetris. I remember that was a pretty terrible game because like the controls sucked.
Controls are kind of all Tetris has, so if you don't nail those...
If you can't slide your pieces and move your pieces where you want to go, you're not going to have a good time, especially when it gets really fast.
You're going to have a bad time.
Going to have a bad time. Man, it's been years since I played this, because this game, it's like every single line that you get, you put towards building like the wonders of the world or something.
So what I want you to notice is just like the random number generator, which it's just a bullshit term for like the pieces you're getting.
Yeah.
And if you'll notice, like I will get like 3 or 4 fucking of the same piece. Like right now, I'm getting 3 of these yellow blocks in a row. For no reason, like, and it happens a lot, like a really fucking lot, and that's why I don't think this is a good Tetris game.
Because sometimes you get 3 pieces in a row.
Three, like I got the T pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten 3 of them. Like right now, I'm getting 3 squares in a row. Like, that's not, and it's like. But you get a lot of the same shit in a row, a lot. Like that happens way more than it fucking should. It would be one thing if it's like, oh, occasionally I got a bunch in a row. That sucks. But it's like, no, I'm getting a bunch of this shit in a row, fucking constantly.
You gotta remember though. This game was made. Oh yeah, you can make the big ass pieces. Oh, I forgot about that.
I actually could have gone for an easier line just a minute ago.
What is the big pieces? Do you just get a bonus or?
I don't think you do. I think it's just a visual effect. I think in like the score attack modes.
Yeah,
you do,
or maybe like you get those big. So right now you got like 63 lines. I think if you clear like the box thing that you make, you get like extra points or an extra line or a different type of line that you unlock. I can't remember now, but I forgot about that mechanic. It's been so long since I played this. But you got to remember too, this game came out like
99.
I was going to say later 90s in the N64 era where everybody was playing same console multiplayer. And that's what this game was all about. So, I mean, if you can get 4 people together, 4 controllers, here's the Tetris game that you never really had before. there wasn't really a 4-player Tetris to my knowledge.
No, this was the first 4-player Tetris.
Yeah.
I looked it up online today because I wanted to like see if I could find like go into the Tetris community and just have them be like, yeah, no, this is like regarded as one of the shittier Tetris games for thus and thus reason. But it seems like I'm the only person that kind of feels that way about this, and it's like, really,
Yeah.
really.
So everybody else likes it.
No, because the only people that are really talking about it are kind of casuals. They're like, oh, I played this Tetris a lot, but no other Tetrises, and it's like, fuck you guys. Play more Tetris.
Yeah, I mean, now I think, well, one, I think the Game Boy Tetris still holds up, but
Well, the
two,
Game Boy Tetris is like the original. It's the the second iteration. So
yeah, I mean, I think the Game Boy Tetris is even better than like the original NES like Tetris,
well, it
and even
depends
like
which NES Tetris
the
you're talking about.
yeah, even like the Tengen Tetris and the Nintendo Tetris. I think they're both okay, but I think the Game Boy one is better because it was the Nintendo one. It was only single player, but then the difference was the Tengen one was basically the same game, but they had multiplayer mode. So it was like the huge difference between the Tengen version and the Nintendo version.
Well, the Nintendo version was faster, though.
Maybe.
No, it was.
Yeah.
There's a Tetris documentary that is out, and the Tengen one tops out at a manageable speed. Like it tops out at something that you can like control. Whereas like the NES Tetris, it's like it's like you can't really get past level like I think it's like 29 or something, and then it's like one person in the world can do it kind of thing.
Why? Because it goes too fast.
Yeah, it's just you get to level 29 and it's just like you're done, just because of the speed that the blocks fall. And it's the speed that the blocks fall and how fast you can move them side to side.
Yeah, because at the time, at those games, like the slide mechanic wasn't a thing yet. Like it was just, like the piece just fell and you couldn't like move it that one extra, spot over. Like it fell and that was it.
Well, I guess there's like a trick that you can do that if you just kind of like hammer the button, like really like if you have a new controller and you just kind of like hammer it to like one side fast enough, like you're good enough at mashing, you can actually get it. Like you can beat that section, but if like only one person has really done that, and like in a recording, so it's like it's possible, but it's pretty much just easier to say nah, it ends at this level.
Yeah, I mean today you get the new Tetris, which was made by Hudson. And then what's funny now is Ubisoft actually has the license because they made a Tetris.
They don't have the license. The Tetris license is owned by the Tetris company.
Yeah, but the most recent one was made by...
Oh, it was, but it's owned by a single entity that like actively sues people if their shit is like too similar to Tetris.
Yeah.
Oh my god! My dog. My
so
wife is in the other room like eating dinner, and my dog is like, "Yo, that looks good. Give me some."
I want more attention.
No, she just wants what my wife is eating.
Or food, one of the two.
Yeah. Well, also she doesn't like she hates it when we like lock her out of her room, and it's like, really, we've been doing this for a year, and you're just like, no one's paying attention to me. I'm a dog.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of the shit you sign up for when you own a dog. Also, I think my dog is like specially abled.
Maybe she just wants to play Tetris.
No, she does not. She's probably confused and scared.
Yeah, but so the Ubisoft that that was on 3DS, that was on like Xbox One. That they just ported it over. So there's new Tetris is coming out, and then the one on Hudson Soft was on original DS, but it was also on WiiWare, and that's when they kind of blew the doors open on Tetris because they implemented a bunch of new features like the race mode. So you actually like guide a piece through like kind of like Tetris tracks. They had another mode where there was a little humanoid little man figure running around at the bottom, and you have to basically make a ladder for him, one square at a time. So, and you had to like get him to the top. So they implemented, there was even like a Wii balance board option where you can actually use the balance board to like rotate your pieces and move forward and back and stuff.
Oh,
so
I'm sure that was practical.
Yeah, it was, that was fantastic. But and then they also had a co-op Tetris where two people, it was like a giant. It was 2 or 3 times as big as a normal Tetris. Well, it was huge, and you could play two pieces. Two people at the same time, dropping 2 pieces down. So they had co-op Tetris and everything. They had, of course, online Tetris up to 8 players. And then they even had, Tetris with like the like items and stuff. You clear a line like with the item block in it, and then you got that item to use. So that completely blew the doors off of Tetris. All these new features. That was a great game. Felt really good. All the new features.
Which game are you saying is the first
this
one?
This was the WiiWare Tetris, which was called Tetris Party.
You do understand that all of those features were available in other Tetris games before, right?
Were they?
Yeah. Tetris the Grandmaster.
Was that PC? That must have been PC. Oh, well, that's arcade.
It like Japan only arcade.
Oh,
but,
well.
Like there have been dozens and dozens and dozens of Tetris games. The one that finally got me back into it, like in a stupid like way, was the DS Tetris. Which
the Nintendo one?
Yeah.
You mean with like the Mario and Zelda sprites and stuff, the 8-bit?
Yep.
Yeah, I hear it. That was that, and that was like I still had that game, and that was the big deal with that game because it was Wi-Fi at the time, and I think that was like Nintendo's. That might have been like Nintendo's second, because the first game was Mario Kart DS, and then Tetris. I think it was just called Tetris DS.
Yeah.
Was maybe if it wasn't like their second game, it was definitely one of their first games online.
I'm pretty sure it's one of their only games that they ever did online.
Yeah, but that was and it had the 8-bit Nintendo character theme, which I think worked well, tied everything together.
Yeah, that is actually not a great. Like, there are ways that people, like, score Tetris games.
Yeah.
And, like, what you can do. You can basically spin your Tetris. You can, like, climb walls.
Yeah, I was going to say, was that the game where you can spin against the wall and you go up?
Yeah.
Or something?
Yeah.
That was it. Okay.
It's kind of funny because, like, so Tetris Grandmaster is undisputedly the hardest Tetris game.
Mm-hmm. I never played that.
No. I mean, like, realistically, it was, like, a Japan-only fucking arcade game. You either have to pay, like, a couple $100 just for the arcade board, or, like, emulate it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And fuck, I would emulate that and play that one week. Because I really, really... I every now and then I'll start playing Tetris and be like, well, this is my life for a month.
I mean, it's so easy to fall into that pit again. I mean, it's Tetris. It's super addicting.
Everybody knows that. And I'll start getting into, like, Tetris the Grandmaster. I'm okay at 2, not so much at 1, and I can't find a working version of 3. But those games, they're just... They get so... Like, this game doesn't really get that fast that quickly. Like, you can kind of just go.
Yeah, I mean, you're at 230 lines.
Yeah, I mean, in most Tetris games, you like, level up.
Oh, yeah, every 10 lines.
So I would be at speed, like, 23 right now,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
it's and it,
which would be fast as shit.
yeah, and like
Like getting to like the 100 line is always okay. Once it hits 100, okay, now it's getting pretty ridiculous.
yeah, and I've actually beaten Tetris DS, and it's not that hard. I can actually pretty religiously do that. Um, it's because that game's not that. That's really not that hard. And if you're like gonna get serious in Tetris about like just getting really good at all Tetris games, that's not actually a great game to learn on because you learn bad habits of like the block spin up the hill.
Oh yeah.
And there's like a couple other
It,
things that it's just like it's just kind of not great to do, like because you play that game and you're like, oh, all Tetris games must be like this, and then you play other Tetris games and you're
no.
like,
Oh yeah, definitely not. Yeah, not all Tetris games are created equal by any means.
no. And like the one that was in Xbox Live Arcade, whatever that one is called, I forget. We were just talking about it.
Oh, was that Tetris Worlds?
Um, well, I mean, it's the newest one that came out that Ubisoft did.
Oh no, yeah, no, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's Tetris. I can find it. That one was pretty good.
It's
The
all
Ubisoft.
right.
It wasn't.
Uh,
It's not the best, but it's
yeah,
definitely not bad.
it's competent.
I liked it. Yeah.
Um, I don't like that a lot of the features it has are multiplayer. Like the one on the Xbox One, which is the one that I ended up buying, uh, has a bunch of like you have to level up to unlock additional stuff, and there's like
Tetris Ultimate.
yeah, and it is not ultimate, by the way. Um, but one of the things in it is like, oh, to unlock more stuff, you you have to like play online against other people, and it's like that sucks because I bought this game slightly after it came out, so it's impossible finding a match. And like some of the stuff is like win 20 matches online, and it's like, oh god, shut the fuck up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you got achievements and stuff like that, but
It's not even an
there,
achievement, that's like to unlock shit.
yeah, I mean, there's always it's Tetris. I mean, there's always going to be people playing it. You know, it
But
obviously
not
line.
online.
I think online, yeah. I mean, there should be a community of. I mean, anybody could play Tetris. I mean, it's got to, it's Tetris, so it's like you figure it's got to sell pretty well. You know what you're getting. Even without having to play like a demo.
I would like to see the sales numbers because I don't think Tetris is just a sale like it. I don't think it's a sales force like it used to be. That it's like, oh, it's Tetris, like it's going to sell pretty well. It's like I kind of think that it like people look at it like, oh, it's Tetris game, and you're gonna sell some units, but you're not gonna sell it nearly as much as you might think.
Yeah, I mean, with Tetris Ultimate, with this Ubisoft one, it was on everything. They first came out on 3DS, then they just ported it to Xbox, and I think PlayStation as well. So I mean, it's got to be just the same game, just one's on a bigger screen, basically.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's the same.
Yeah,
thing.
they try to get their biggest bang for their buck by let's just make the game once and then just easily port it over, use the same features on everything.
Yeah, and I'm like approaching like line 300, and it's like a lot of the time that I'm like that weird shit's happening is I'm just getting like really bad block drops. It's not even that it's like difficult and like the speed's not manageable. It's like, oh well, these block drops are just retarded for no reason.
Uh-oh, here we go. Saved. Whoa. That was a good effort there.
Yeah. My wife messaged me. My wife is just bitching about the dog.
In the other room.
Well, you know, she's like messaging me like, fuck this dog.
Besides marathon, what other modes are in this?
Like sprint, which is like how fast can you get to like
10 lines or
I
something?
think it's like 200 or
Or
150.
yeah, whatever the amount. Yeah.
There's sprint, and then there's oh god, I'm blanking on the other one. Ultra, which I don't know very well how it's different than sprint.
Mm.
So
I don't remember.
yeah, and that's like the two modes that you have. It's like, yeah, pick one. And like marathon is kind of that's the one that you unlock everything in. And as much as I'm knocking this Tetris game, I definitely did play it one night for like 6 hours.
I'm telling you, I liked it. I just like how the pieces move.
I like the concept of like unlocking the wonders and shit.
Yeah.
Um,
And then you get because you can like, and you might have to boot it up and look, but I remember like you build like the pyramids, and then like the camera like flies through the pyramids as you're like building it and stuff, so you can see that it's like, ooh, Nintendo 64 3D, you know.
yeah, no, it definitely does do like the 3D thing.
Yeah, they try to do something because it's like, well, we can do this. We have a more powerful system. Let's try to take advantage of it in a, when we can, instead of just putting 2D pixel blocks.
I guess like there are people who have gone, hey Kamiyuki, how's it going? There are people who have gone through the code of this, and there's like a couple like designers or like programmers that just went in and were like, fuck this game. And it's not like, as far as I know, it's not anything like that we've been talking about, like, oh, this is just a bad Tetris game. It's like, they're like, this entire project has been on crunch since day fucking one. Like, this X person who's in charge does not know how to allocate resources. Fuck this guy.
Yeah.
And it's just like goes on like that for a while. So that's pretty. I thought that was kind of funny. Like, I was reading up on that today.
I mean, you got to remember, the N64 era is all about let's make a killer 4-player split screen same sofa multiplayer game.
Was it?
And that's what they set out to do.
I mean, was that what the N64 era was about?
Well,
or is that just kind of like how you're remembering it?
The N64, yeah. I mean, well, obviously, if we could have played online, we would have, but...
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, yeah, sure, like, you have fucking...
Like, me and my buddy, I mean, we would always gather around, play Mario Kart, play Smash, Diddy Kong Racing, and then we would get the occasional weirder game, like the new Tetris, or like, 3-player Rampage, or Snowboard Kids. We try to find the good multiplayer games on the N64, and I always thought this was one of them.
Yeah, and then GoldenEye came out and we stopped looking.
Yeah, GoldenEye Perfect Dark.
Oh, these drops have sucked balls. Yeah, no, and GoldenEye, like, isn't as good as everyone remembers. It did not age well.
No, absolutely not.
And it's kind of funny because, like, there are people that are like, when you first started saying that to people, it's like, what are you talking about? GoldenEye is perfect in every way. It's like, no, what was perfect in every way was you hanging out with your friends and, like, playing a game together.
Yeah,
and then getting pissed off that someone was doing something stupid. Like that's what was wonderful, and it's like you can't argue with that memory, but you need to also remember that it, like, compared to modern games, GoldenEye is not good.
No, not at all. I mean, it uses you got to hold down the R button to aim, so you can't like it's not like dual analog stickish, you know.
No, not at all.
It does not hold up well. And I
And
mean, at
like
the time, it was the
at the
shit
time, it was like the first like competent first person shooter,
on a
and
console.
yeah,
Yeah.
on a console that
Oh yeah.
anyone had made. So like, yeah, it was fucking revolutionary and mind blowing, but it
Not anymore.
no, and like to a very like depressing not anymore level.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. You could play like the rare replay Perfect Dark, you know,
Which is almost the same game.
yeah, it's just HD, but they updated the controls, and now it's a good game because they updated the controls and everything's okay. But going back and just playing GoldenEye on the N64, not a good time.
No. And no, yeah. There I don't know, like the GoldenEye or the Perfect Dark that came out on the 360 when it launched wasn't really a good game either.
Oh, you mean
The Perfect Dark?
For Xbox? You mean that Perfect Dark sucked. Oh yeah, that was terrible. The launch. Oh, that was a terrible game. Yeah, everybody thought it was terrible.
Well, yeah, because it was Perfect Dark with the same mentality.
That was just a
Yeah, that they were
game.
just like, oh, everyone will buy this at launch.
No,
it's
yeah,
Perfect Dark.
yeah, because it's Perfect Dark and there was nothing else going on, and people did, and they're like, actually, this is not a good game, and I don't feel strongly about the 360 right now because this game sucks so hard.
Yeah, like I said, the drop. Like I just went from like over 300 lines to.
Well, check out the other. Don't go
No,
back.
no.
I want to see what else.
This is my prog. I need to do 180 more lines.
Oh, okay.
Fucking finish the fucking thing.
Yeah.
So let me get my 180 lines. We'll do that, and then we can do a quick preview of the other dumb modes.
Yeah. Because then if you build it, you get to see it being built.
And I think it like changes the background.
Yeah, extra little feature that they didn't have to do, but they're like, well, we have the N64. You're making a bunch of lines. How can we make this work? What else? What other features, can we throw in there?
Yeah, what other shit is in there? And
that's not going to take a lot of time to develop.
Yeah. The N64 was like, well, it's every new console that comes out is like the first dozen or so games that are on it are just kind of like, yeah, check out basically our. I have no clue what's happening. We're playing Tetris. The first dozen or so games that come out on any console are basically like, yeah, this is a step above an interactive screensaver.
It happens. I mean, well, the N64, it was just Mario 64 and Pilot's Wings for like 6 months.
And Mario 64 actually still fucking holds up.
Mario 64 still holds up, but I mean, when you had an N64, like the next game after Pilot's Wings and Mario 64 was like Blast Corps.
Yup.
And then
that came out relatively soon after launch.
I think that was the next game because it was like the only other games, like the third game, and then they ported like Mortal Kombat Trilogy, which was not great. And then you started to see more games at like the end of the year there, I think it was. But there was like the dry spell for like a month. It was like only Mario and only Pilot's Wings.
Oh yeah. No, there was also Shadow of the Empire came out.
Yeah, that came out. That was also another game. Shadow of the Empire and Blast Corps came out pretty close together, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was definitely like the first year.
Oh, and I got rid of my N64 relatively, like, I think I had it for maybe a year maybe.
Really?
Yeah, and I just sold it to like a kid at school because he was offering me relatively good money for it, and the PlayStation had come out at that point.
Oh, so you jumped ship, huh?
Oh, I jumped ship really fucking hard
I
because
had
like
both.
yeah, I was super poor.
Well, we all were, but I was like, man, I need my Mario games. I need my Mario Kart. But then I was like, oh, what is this Final Fantasy VII game doing over here? I need to get this.
Yeah, I saw Suikoden and was like, I have to have this fucking system.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like Suikoden, like I still am a huge JRPG fan, and like to this day love the Suikoden games, and I don't know, like N64 had like what, Quest 64,
Yeah, which
which
was
was
pretty
awful.
terrible.
Like everyone
Oh
who
yeah,
plays it is like, this game is so fucking broken.
that was the only thing. Then there was like later at the end of the life cycle was like Arion Chronicles or something, which was trying to be an RPG, but that sucked too. Yeah, it was not an RPG system.
Yeah, no. And that's all I played when I was younger. It was like,
Yeah, if you, oh yeah, I mean, the PlayStation One, man, that is like the golden era of RPGs right there.
oh yeah,
I mean, Square just fucking dominated.
like like
with
crazy too.
Oh man, I mean, everything was just pretty much gold from, SquareSoft in the PS1 era. I mean, just fucking gold.
Yeah,
You got all the Final Fantasy games. You got Final Fantasy Tactics, right, which was born on the PS1. You got Brave Fencer. You got, even like they had like Einhander, like a shooter game,
and that's pretty competent.
yeah, yeah, everything, man. Square PS1 era was out of control. Xenogears, we were just talking about last week.
Yeah, well, they just like dropped the price of the Virtual Console one, or the not
The
virtual, the
it was on
PlayStation Network.
it was on sale last week. It was
Yeah,
like
for like $3.
for like $3 or so. Yeah, I bought it. I didn't. I got it queued up. I didn't play it yet, but
I actually bought a bunch of stuff on that sale.
yeah, so did I. Vagrant Story, another good game.
I actually didn't buy Vagrant Story, but that's because I still own the disc.
Parasite Eve was like $1.80 or something. I bought the Parasite 1, Parasite Eve, and Parasite 2. Parasite 2 was like a response to like Resident Evil, but Parasite Eve 1.
I know about Parasite Eve 1.
Yeah, but it was on sale last week for like $1.80 or something. I actually bought it previously, so I didn't have to obviously re-buy it, but it was also on sale.
Man, I am fucking this up.
I know I was gonna say, oh, you're trying to save it, but
Yeah, it just didn't happen.
yeah.
Alright, let's go to Ultra with a medium opponent.
Oh, here we go. I think if you don't kill each other, it's whoever gets to 150 lines first. I think.
Yeah, I believe that's correct. I almost always kill them though. Like
This guy he's fucking up.
Yes.
He's got look at this. Look at the well he's building. He's got a hole on both sides.
That's me.
You're on the
that
right.
Guy. I'm on the left.
Yeah. The dude on the computer on the right is. That's not exactly a good strategy right there, dude.
No. But like, it's also a medium opponent. It's not supposed to be like hard.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. It's a step in the right direction.
Don't encourage them. You're on my side.
You're gonna lose to the medium opponent.
Yeah, I might.
That's all right.
That
Warm up
sounds-
round, right?
Yeah. Cool story, bro.
Oh yeah, he's done.
Yeah, like I said, like, this shit is fucking... I would be surprised if it... Yeah.
Yeah. So Ultra, or was it Ultimate? Ultra, what was it?
That was Ultra.
Ultra, so Ultra is just basically verse mode?
No, it's to 150.
Oh, it's the one.
And then,
Okay.
sprint,
And then
I
sprint
have 3 minutes.
3. Okay. What the hell are these? The names of the computer guys? Chancha. The other one was like had like an X in there or something. That was weird.
They're probably, like, from whatever the background is. Cause
Yeah, I was gonna say right, like Incan, Mayan.
Yeah, Mexican.
Yeah.
I've been tempted to stream this since I downloaded it, and I'm just like, no one wants to watch me play Tetris for hours. Quietly.
I think if I remember, I think the lines that you even play here in multiplayer also
Everything
count
does,
towards
I think.
the line total for like the making of the wonders thing.
Yeah.
Which is cool because it always gives you something to strive for.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like,
I don't know how many wonders there are, but
there's a bunch.
I'm sure there's a bunch, and you need more and more each
Oh,
one.
yeah.
So you're gonna have to play this for a lot to get all of them.
I will probably have lost interest before that.
Yeah.
And, like, go back to, like, Grandmaster or something. And be like, wow, this game's actually fast and difficult.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe that makes it, good for, newcomers to Tetris if you want to kind of learn, because it doesn't get so fast.
No. Fucking learn how to play a game, asshole.
Throw them to the wolves. Well, if you're going to learn how to play, go play the Game Boy game. That's where everybody else learned.
Not really. I mean, you have to remember that is how many generations ago? Like...
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, our generation...
There are people that are like, I don't even know there was a Game Boy game.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, they're missing out.
Yeah, it is a good one. I think the
Gave
guy...
you an excuse to use the link cable.
Yeah, the only reason. I think the guy... I'm pretty sure the guy who, like, came up with Tetris got fucked over.
With the Game Boy version?
No, like, in general, the guy who came up... Because he was in the Soviet bloc when he came up with it.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And so, like, Russia technically owned it.
Yeah. There's a huge story about that. If you read the book Game Over, I read like the first fourth of the book. I own it, but it's all about, like, I think it was Howard Lincoln, and like he went to Moscow to like get the rights to this game, but then there was all sorts of legal mumbo jumbo, and
well, that was like still during the Cold War, right?
So, yeah, it was that would have been like
it's the ass end of the Cold War, but
yeah, but I mean, either way, it's fucking Russia, and like shit, it's Russia.
Yeah.
Like, enough said. So, but yeah, if you read this book, it tells the story about like how they had to go over there and fly over there and try to figure all this kind of stuff out. But in the long run, it worked. I mean, that's what helped sell the Game Boy, and it was like the perfect pack-in title because anybody could play it. It had the link cable mode and
yeah, back when they actually still had pack-in titles.
Mm-hmm. On physical disc, or as a physical copy, not just like a stupid fucking download code.
I don't mind the download code so much, but it's like, oh, if you want to get this at fucking launch, like, I mean, we're a step away from them saying just straight up, like, it doesn't even come with a controller anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
the power supply is an extra $30 that you have to buy.
Do you know America's the only place that still includes the power supply?
For what, consoles?
Yeah. That's never been a thing in any other country.
I don't know. Well, I know, like, it doesn't come, like, with you buy a new 3DS, because it's the same charger.
Yeah, because, no, well, that's the thing. Hey, DBZ. I have been, well, tired, but well. No, America's like the only place that has had a fucking power cord all along. In Japan, it has never, no system has ever come with a power cord.
Huh.
Yeah, and the only reason appliances like power cords are wired in Europe is because there were so many people electrocuting themselves when they were trying to wire their home appliances that they had to pass a fucking law that said that all appliances have to come pre-wired. Like your washer has to come pre-wired.
Oh yeah,
Because like people were just killing themselves because they didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
yeah. They come, hardwired, and you
Yeah.
gotta.
And still to this day in Europe, in England at least, people like think that when an appliance comes pre-wired, haha, they all do. But when it comes pre-wired like that, it's like an extra charge that they're just hiding on you because for so long it didn't come that way.
Yeah, it depends on the. I mean, I'm in the appliance industry, and a lot of our stuff is hardwired, but some of our other stuff is wired for certain reasons.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, there's certain reasons that, like, wiring's weird, or it needs a detachable cable, or something like that. But no, dude, seriously, look it up. Like, Britain has only recently mandated that people fucking include wiring. Yeah, how fucking weird is that shit? Fuck that up. Yeah.
I think you might have just got enough lines to unlock the next.
Are you telling me to die because you're bored?
No. I'm just saying.
No, it's cool. It's cool. You could just say it. You don't have to beat around the bush. Be like, hey, I'm bored. Let's fucking end this shit.
I just want to see what the wonder's going to be.
Uh-huh. I'm going to find an article on that wiring thing and send it to you because I can tell in your voice you don't believe me.
Oh no, I know other countries are completely different from.
Oh god, Anita Sarkeesian released another fucking video.
Who?
Tropes versus women in gaming.
Oh.
She had this Kickstarter that she's like, I'm gonna make all these videos about gaming and why it's mean to women, and it hit the Kickstarter goal, and she as a person became popular enough that everyone has forgotten the fact that she hasn't fulfilled her Kickstarter goal. Think about that. It's like no one points out the fact that
And we're never going to see the end of this stupid. There's always going to be people that aren't happy and blah blah blah.
well,
And
not only that, but like when you clearly define this is what we're doing, and you don't, and you're like, this is the timeline, and then you fail to produce that.
oh yeah,
Like, yeah, no, you fucked up. Like, I don't know what else you want me to say. Like, you done fucked up. She promised, I think it was like 6 videos or something within a year, and she's would just now be releasing her 3rd or 4th one, and it's been 3 years. And no one can fucking say anything about her because she's a woman in video gaming.
That's another.
It's a sacred cow thing at the moment.
Yeah, it's right. It's a hot button.
Look, there have been women in gaming since gaming was a thing. Some of the original programmers were women. No one cared.
Yeah, there a lot of even like the chick who made like the original Castlevania soundtrack was made by a woman.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, no one cared because they're just doing a job. But everyone cares now because it's progressive. All right, let's see if I've done enough lines.
I think you got enough.
Yes.
13.
Let's see if it unlocks it.
I think you... Or maybe you need... Oh, all right, let's see.
Oh!
Oh, here you go. Dang. Wow. The Sanctuary of Apollo.
At Delhi.
Oh,
Oh,
you
that's
get a-
right. You have to sit through the scroll, too.
You get a little history lesson here. Man, look at that. Man, look, you can see each individual polygon.
Oh my god, I'm skipping this now.
Yeah, I think if you click on it again, do you get to like watch the swooping camera? Can you like watch it anytime?
I might be able to, yes. God, you're an asshole.
Man,
Oh.
the new Tetris.
Oh my god. I hate you so much.
What happened?
I hate you so much.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah, alright. So, let's call it for this week. I might stay on and stream for a little bit.
I like the new Tetris. I mean, again, at the time it was the shit, but I think it's still a pretty good game. If it was on Virtual Console, I would consider downloading it if I didn't have 900 other versions of Tetris.
No, that's exactly it. And I don't think that this version of it holds up. I think it's the golden eye.
Yeah.
It's the golden eye of Tetris. Like, you have pleasant memories of this. It is not those memories.
Oh yeah, there's definitely better versions out there today, no doubt, no question.
And like, yeah, it did things. It was one of the first Tetrises to do.
4-player, all your lines mean something, they go towards something.
Yeah, it was interesting at the time, but it is super fucking not a great Tetris game.
Yeah, you kind of get some of the balancing issues there where it just doesn't. You get a bunch of pieces of this, the three
Same in
pieces
a
of the
row.
same,
Yeah,
and it doesn't really like speed up.
Someone ran the probability, and it's like, if you could continually play Tetris forever, in theory, and the answer is at a certain point, you will get too many of the same block in a row, and you'll just be fucked. And it's like, the probability of that happening is very low, but in the same instance, the question is if you could play forever, and it's like, eventually you have to stop because of that.
Well, if you ever reach that point anyway, you should really be doing other things with your life to begin with.
Oh god, the new video is called Strategic Butt Covering. That's a good hair metal.
So, yeah, I was going to say, it sounds like a name of a band or something.
Yeah, like that's like a hair metal band, or like an album where they're like, "Oh, still pay attention to us, we're relevant," and then it goes gold platinum.
I'd buy it.
Yeah. You would just be walking through the door. Strategic butt coverings. Fuck
Oh,
yes.
Oh yeah, I might want to check this out.
Yeah. Well, I guess you can just list things I like, and I'll pick up the CD. Well played,
That's
artist.
just smart. That's just smart marketing right there.
Yeah. Well played. What was that? The band. Well, I'm trying to remember what the band's name is, but they did the Cherry Pie song.
Oh, Warrant?
Yeah, and they were like the biggest thing in the world, and it's like, I think there was like a behind the music I was watching, and it's like the lead singer was like, I'm pretty sure everyone just picked up that album because the hot chick on the cover, though. And it's
Same thing with like Blink 182 had like a super hot like nurse on their album cover. I mean, that's not gonna hurt sales probably.
no,
So.
and it's kind of, that was Enema of the State.
Mm-hmm.
and that's still their best-selling album. And it's like I can remember sitting there and being like, maybe I should buy that album a couple of times
Yeah, just because it has a
because
pretty
it's
sweet
super
cover.
hot fucking nurse,
Mm-hmm.
and like you can see her cleavage. And
Yeah, that was done
this time
intentionally.
on the stream, album covers you can masturbate to.
Well, we like to cover a wide variety
Yeah,
of
a wide
topics on our
variety of
stream.
masturbation.
We usually get off track pretty quick anyway.
Yeah, I was trying to wrap this up, but that just stopped at some point. So
Yeah, Tetris. There you go. Awesome. Maybe next week we'll play Dr. Mario to round things out a little bit.
we're not playing fucking Dr. Mario. I hate Dr. Mario.
Puyo Puyo?
Maybe Pokemon Puzzle League.
Oh, Pokemon Puzzle League. I like Pokemon Puzzle League. I also like Puyo Puyo.
Okay.
But yeah,
Pokemon
I'm
Puzzle
not
League, we
really.
can play some fucking Pokemon Puzzle League.
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of Dr. Mario myself.
No, I fucking hate Dr. Mario.
You got to be very specific. I mean, you cannot fuck up like one time. You have
Oh
to.
yeah, and it's like Dr. Mario for me was just always like a collection of other games that had existed before.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
Mario.
It's not
It was
the
like
best puzzle game.
columns mixed with like I don't know, Mario basically.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I mean, Puzzle League. I mean, I'll play some Puzzle League.
Yeah, I like me some Pokemon Puzzle League.
Besides Pokemon Puzzle League, it was also Yoshi's.
Cookie.
I think was it Yoshi's Cookie? Because there was also Yoshi, a puzzle game Yoshi, and that game sucked. That was a bad puzzle game. Maybe it was Yoshi Cookie. I can't remember now.
In which they're actually
No. It was Tetris Attack. It was Tetris Attack. It was on Super Nintendo, and I think it actually was bundled. It was like Dr. Mario with Tetris Attack. It was like the two games in one. It's on Super Nintendo. It's Tetris Attack, but it's basically Pokemon Puzzle League without the Pokemon theme.
Well, it's Puzzle League is what it is.
It's Puzzle League, yes.
Puzzle League is the title of the larger series.
They just called it Tetris Attack at the time because nobody knew what the hell it was, and they figured, well, if we call it Tetris, people will be drawn to it.
Yeah, people will want it.
Yeah.
Isn't there like Wetrix or something?
Oh yeah, Wetrix. Wetrix was. You ever play Wetrix?
No.
There's actually Wetrix 64. It was Wetrix 64, and then it was ported to PS2. That was an early PS2 game. It was called Aqua, and the whole point of Wetrix was you had to build up a perimeter using Tetris pieces in a 3D space because and you had like a couple of minutes to like build your first pool, right? Because what happened was then in a couple of minutes you'd get like a rain cloud, and the rain cloud would literally drop water, and the point was to hold the water for as long as you can. So you had to build up your walls higher and higher and higher, and then eventually when water spilled out and enough of it, then it would be game over. But then you could drop bombs on your opponent to like ruin their walls and other kind of stuff. So that actually was a pretty good game. I kind of liked it. Was a completely different take. It was a completely different spin on the classic Tetris theme.
You were actually like doing something with the wall.
You're doing something with the walls, and it is a little higher tension. It was designed for multiplayer because you could screw your buddy over and stuff.
And if I've learned anything from my time working on this site, it is that you love a game that you can screw your buddies over in.
It's the point of multiplayer gaming, isn't it?
They like to say that it's cooperative.
Well,
sometimes.
I like a good co-op, just as much as the next.
I would go out on a limb and say that it kind of sounds like you're only happy when you're making other people miserable.
Check out what I never really. I think I played the Wetrix on N64 like once, but
yeah.
I played Aqua on PS2, which is basically the same game, the same concept. But check that out, because if you haven't played it, like it'll take you a round or two to understand it. But then, because not only do you get water, you get fire drops, and you can like evaporate some of the water too. So you get like helpful power ups as well as power ups that can like you get bombs that ruin their walls, and you can get more storm clouds so it rains on them and stuff. More water comes in faster, and all this kind of stuff. But check it out. It's if you haven't played it, it's worth to.
I have not played Wetrix.
Yeah, it's worth it to just kind of take a peek because it's something new and different. There hasn't really been anything else like it. I mean, it's probably, Wetrix has probably been like the biggest advancement in like using the Tetris theme without being Tetris, per se. But
I don't know. I think that the DS Tetris managed to do some unique things.
yeah, well, I mean, we can even stream it later. I mean, it's something different. Like, not a lot of people are playing Wetrix these days, so it's kind of good to go back and play some of these older games.
Is that going to be the new bar for entry on this stuff? Is like, not a lot of people play this.
Yeah, I mean, I like playing the sleeper hits. I like finding the sleeper hit games that, don't get the recognition they deserve.
Oh my god, this game. We've tried to sign off like 3 times. I'm
Right.
Dan Gilman. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Gilman. He is Zach Gaz.
Yep, Zach Gaz on Twitter, squallsnake.com, go to mygamer.com. That's where we write and post everything and post the streams, all that kind of good stuff.
Absolutely. I have a personal website. It's farms.net. I occasionally post things there. That's why the stream is called Farms. You already said your website, though, so fuck yourself.
Yeah, we'll be back next week. Maybe we'll play something new, or maybe we'll play Wetrix or Pokemon Puzzle League. We'll figure it out.
I'll be around, though, so I'll probably be back on at some point. Yeah.
All right, well, yeah, thanks for watching, and game on.
Absolutely. Hold on one second.